Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Johanna. For those of you who are new here, welcome. For those of you who are returning, welcome back. In today's video, I'll be showing you my April haul of journals, art supplies, and coloring books. And if that is of interest to you, please stay tuned. Okay, so I will segment this. If you're only interested in one particular section, you can check the description box as well as the pinned comment. It'll be journals, art supplies, and coloring books, as I mentioned in that intro. Let's just jump right in. This actually was gifted to me. My brother and my mom had gone to Barnes and Nobles, and so they picked up this Moleskine Harry Potter. I'm pretty sure it's an A5 journal. As you can see by the glare, I have not opened this. I don't know what I'm going to be using this for, but I've never had a Moleskine, and I don't know if you can see it, but it's got the always symbol on there. I think that's what that means. And so I'm just going to keep it in the wrapper until I figure out what to use it for. My brother says it's comparable to Leuchtturm paper, so it's going to be very thin. It is a ruled, lined notebook. So again, I'm just going to keep it up in my stack, and I can insert a picture here of where my coloring books and my journals are. And once I determine what I'm going to use this for, then yeah, I'll have this at the ready. But I'm really thankful for this. He said he bought me a book, and I thought maybe he had bought me a coloring book, and I was like, oh, because he may not have the same taste as I do. Of course, I'd love anything I get as a gift. And then I thought, well, maybe it's a reading book. And it's like, oh. And then he gave me this. I'm like, oh, yay, a journal. Yeah, I always love journals. Thank you. So that's the one and only journal that was picked up for this month. I actually have no intentions of getting any other journals. Well, no, that's not true. I probably will pick up astrology, but that's for work. But it's not part of my creative journal arsenal, at least not in my mind. So let's go on to the supplies. Now, this isn't going to be in any particular order. It's just I've got things piled around me, and so I'll just go through it as I see it. I picked this up from Amazon. It is the 10 count metallic jelly roll pens. For the price, I'm pretty sure I could have gotten a lot more pens, but I do want to be a little bit more intentional with my supplies just because I do have such a severely limited space. So I thought I'd go for just the 10 count right now, and I can use this both in my journals as well as in my coloring books. So I thought it's a good count number. I liked the colors, and I get some dual purpose. Same with my Tombos. The Tombos that I own, I use for coloring, but I picked up predominantly because I liked to use them in my journals. And not gonna lie, sometimes I use them as highlighters in my planners. So I picked this up from Walmart. And I've actually used these. I've kept them in the containers. Well, this one I will probably keep in this container. This one I put back in the container just to show you guys. But I've used these colors and I really like them. I tend to be favoring a lot of neutrals lately, so I was surprised how much I'd like these, but I really like these. The next thing I'm going to show you is these 120 count Brett Funner oily colored square pencils. This, of course, is just the cover. I didn't keep it in the tin for both use as well as how I prefer. I don't like keeping them in the box they come in, but it's a pretty sturdy box and I liked how that looked, so I kept it. But let me show you where I have them. Okay, so this is where I store. So this obviously is new. Picked it up from Amazon. I'll link it below. It's pretty much the same one as I have my Prismas in, and so I've got it segmented. You guys know I'm not so diligent about doing it in all of the correct order. For some of you, this might be driving you crazy because there's some lighter tones and some darker tones. Yeah, so long as all of the pinks and reds are together and all the yellows and purples are together, that's fine. I was prepared to hate these pencils. I have picked up Arteza pencils, not a big fan. I have picked up the Amazon Basics, I have Crayolas, and I thought that this would just be another one that I'd be disappointed in, because all of the ones that I picked up had really good reviews. But I've realized that what I need is a highly pigmented pencil right off the bat. For various reasons, doing lots of layers is not something I'm interested in. And I also have arthritis in my hands. And so after a while, my hands can go numb. And so if I can alleviate the amount of layering I need to do to get the pigment that I want, that's just the best route for me. So those other pencils are good. They're just not good for what I want them for. And so it's 120 count. I love these. These and my Prismas are go-to pencils. And then I also did get the Crayola Color My World set. So this is supposed to be skin tones. I don't know that I'm going to be reaching for these, but I do like having skin tone pencil sets all together with both the Brut Funners as well as the Prismas. I know that there are skin tones scattered throughout, but I want things to be together so that I don't have to pull out pencils and have to remember anything. So I know these are all skin tones and highlights and whatnot. I did order some, I think they're Black Widows, I'm not sure. They were on Amazon and they were the light and dark skin pencil sets. They should be coming in any day now. And I don't know if there'll be enough room in here, so I might put them with my Prismas. I might need to get another case, but I just like having those tones separate just for my own convenience. But loving this, highly pigmented. They do keep a point, and one of the downsides of these pencils is there's no name on it, at least not in English. I believe Passion for Pencils, or there's a YouTube channel here in her Facebook group. I think she has the conversions of this. To be honest, I never care about what the name of a pencil is, because if I'm coloring something and I want pink, I'm just going to pull out various pinks and go from there. It can be problematic, I think, if you're doing like color by number and you want one assigned color for something. There are numbers on here, so I suppose you could get around it that way, where you just write the number. You don't know exactly what the name is, but at least you can always come back to that pencil. I just pull pencils as I color. That's not a concern for me, at least not at this point. But this is one of my very happy buys for April. This is also a new purchase, actually a recent purchase. I got this from Walmart. Oh, the case, the Brut Funners, and the Crayolas actually were all from Amazon. If I can link any of these things down below, I will. But these are the Faber-Castell Albrecht Dürer watercolor pencils. I had wanted to try out some new mediums. These are beautiful. They are heavily pigmented, and I've used a little bit of the blues. I kind of want them all now. I think I'm just going to settle for these. They are rather expensive. Faber-Castell pencils generally are, because I think they're polychromos. I want all of those. I like low-key, I'm obsessing over those. But I'm going to try to pace myself again, and I don't mean to beat a dead horse, but I do have space issues. Plus, I'm really happy with my Prismas. I'm really happy with my Brut Funners. I'm really happy with these. And so to add to my arsenal, just because I want them, I don't know, I'm trying to be more intentional about my purchases, because I'd rather save a little bit and get more of the higher end that I know will probably work, versus trying to find a dupe for it, because that's what I've been trying to do. But these work a treat. When I do my May completed pages, I'll talk a little bit more about these, and yeah. Yeah, but I'm loving them so far, and as far as I'm aware, you can use them as a pencil, and they are smooth and pigmented like you would not believe. But then you can also add water, obviously, and turn them into watercolors, and they are just beautiful. Even with my limited skill level, I just thought they worked a lot better than I thought they would. So this is a April purchase. I did pick up the satin glazing liquid golden. I had seen a video from Coloring with Kay, and she uses this to change the texture of some of her papers, more so with her Amazon paper coloring books, because then she can just manipulate the page a lot more. And I've used this, and again, when I do my May completed pages video, I'll talk a little bit more about this, because I've used this in a few of the things that I'm doing this month. And yeah, I have thoughts. So satin glazing liquid from Golden. It dries clear, and I also picked this up from Amazon. Now, I had picked these up from Sam's Club. I was there one morning with my dad, and I guess based on the look of it, and you can see it more there, I thought these were acrylic pens. And to be honest, they might be. However, when I tested one, and I think it's this purple one, yeah, I was quite surprised. And let me just do a quick tester for you. And this is one of the spur of the moment. This was not on my radar, and so I had no preconceived notion about it. Just based on the look of it and based on what it said you needed to do, you shake it well, you let the paint flow just like a Posca or an acrylograph or any of those acrylic paint pens, and then you color with it. And so I prepped this one. And it goes down nicely. And then I was absolutely surprised by that. And I guess that's where the oil-based come in, because it seems to have the properties of a Posca. So there definitely is some opaqueness to it, but it also has the properties of an alcohol marker, because that's not even just a little bit of ghosting. That's absolute bleed through. It actually went to that layer as well. And so I don't know what I'm going to be using these for, because I honestly thought it was like a Posca pen. I didn't clock into the fact that they're oil-based, and that's all on me. It says it right there. So I had wanted to use this in my journals and in my coloring books. And I might, especially for the one-sided ones. But yeah, I mean, the pigment is amazing. It's just that bleed through is insane. So I will play around with these. This is the only one that I've actually primed. The rest, once I did this one, I'm like, oh no, that's not what I was expecting. And so if I can't find a use for these, I might just give this to my boss, because she has school-age children, and they might be able to do some of these projects with them. Yeah. So, I mean, it's good and it's not. But yeah, I just wanted to show you these because I did pick these up in April. And then my last supply haul is the Sharpie markers. I also picked these up from Sam's. I had wanted to see whether or not they worked as well as alcohol markers, and they do, sort of. I find that alcohol markers are wetter. Now, they're not super juicy like a gel pen, but if you compare this to one like immediately, this feels dry. You still get pigment. You can still get it less streaky than if you used a water-based marker. I'm thinking there must be alcohol in here. I have no idea. But because I had done the this or that tag, and I've seen people color with Sharpies, I just wanted to try my hand at it. It was like $9 for this in Sam's Club. And so I thought, well, there's a good array of colors. More than likely, I'm going to keep them in here. Some things I like to decant into various things where I usually keep pens and whatnot. But some things, especially like this, I'm not going to use this like I would usually use a Sharpie marker. I'm going to be using this for coloring. So just having them them in the row that they're in, I think just works the best for me. Because Sharpie markers usually is just to write something permanent on something. It's not to use in any kind of artistic endeavor. But I did pick up these. I did use them, and I like them. I don't know that I'll be repurchasing once they dry out, because if I'm going to choose between the two, I definitely will lean towards an alcohol marker instead. But that, I believe, is the last. Oh no, I'm a liar. I also picked up some acrylic paint. It's the only acrylic paint I have. Oh no, I keep looking to the side of me and I saw something else. So I picked up this from Amazon. It was just easier for me to get from there than going to my Walmart. This is to help with some backgrounds. I might actually try this in some of my journals. We'll see. And then I picked up some Stardust stickles. Again, mostly to use in my coloring books, but I also might try it out in my journals. If I can get multi-uses for things, then it makes me happy and makes me feel like I'm getting the bang for my buck. Although if I'm using it, I'm still doing that, but yeah. So that definitely is all of the supplies. Let me show you the coloring books. Okay, I did pick up these 3 Erie coloring books from Amazon Japan. This one was a funny purchase because I knew it was from Erie because it said so, but I didn't know what it was. And this is a tracing book. And so you may or may not be able to see it, or maybe see it very faintly, but the artwork or the line work is very light. And the way that you can attack this is you can color it in like usual, or you can just outline the images in the color you want that particular thing. So for instance, if you want this building to be gray, then you would just outline all the parts in gray, and it sort of looks like, and I'll see if I can find a picture and insert it here. It looks like embroidery work on pillows. I've seen that sort of outlining method in embroidery. Now, I can see it, and so I am going to attack this as a coloring book. Now, I've only just recently got this, and I was finishing up projects for April, but this is one of the books that I'd like to get to for April, just to at least work on one page. I believe, well, I can't remember the name, but there is someone here on YouTube who did the outlining method, and it looks really cute. But I definitely purchased this thinking it was a coloring book, and it is, and so that's how I'm going to approach it. But I thought it was strange because I had already purchased this when I had seen someone talk about the Tracing Erie books. I'm like, what are they talking about? And then it just made me laugh because, oh yeah, I purchased that. This one I think is World Travel. I don't know that it's in print in English. It's definitely not on Amazon US, and so I really want to finish the Erie series, and so I might just go and get them all from Amazon Japan. And really the only thing that's affected are these things here, and I certainly could use Google Translate, although to be honest, it's not that big of a deal for me. But I love her artwork, and this is one of her traditional coloring books where you can definitely see the line art. Like this reminds me of Germany because of the Christmas ornaments and the nutcracker. So this is definitely a page I'm probably going to save until Christmas to work on during the month of December. But I love it. I think there's a fairy tales one that I want, and I think there is another tracing one. And so, yeah, I want to, hers is pretty much the only one that I absolutely want the entire collection, and then probably followed by Opal, which I think is just one more book. And isn't this, I mean, that's Hawaii. We're going to say that's Hawaii. That's where I live. Yay. And then I also picked up a third tale. This finishes out the romantic series. I won't flip through this. I can do that later when I do my May completed pages. If you're interested, there's tons of flip throughs of this because I've already started working on my buddy color with Erica. So I just want to keep that under wraps. So those are the 3 that I picked up from Amazon Japan. I did pick up this in April, picked this up from Amazon. This is the one and only Maria Trolle book that I own. It's Luna. I do have a whip going on in the back, but I do like the artwork, and I talked about this in my April completed pages. This has a little bit of a backstory for me. So yeah, I'm definitely going to enjoy working in this, but as much as I like the artwork, there are definitely more books that I want other than Maria Trolli books. So this might be, at least for the next while, the only one that I have of hers in my arsenal. This one I did pick up in April as well, is Mythographic Odyssey. Now, as I mentioned in that April completed pages video, and I'll link that below, I actually have two more coming. I have Imagine and Enchanted Castles. For expense purposes, I am going to consider that April purchases, but you probably won't see that until I do my May haul. I have not purchased anything in May. Now, granted, it's May 2nd, but everything that I will show in my haul, to the best of my ability, will have been things that I've been waiting for that I purchased in April. I am trying to do a no spend, at least for art and coloring supplies, for the month of May, because I certainly have way more stuff than I can use in at least a month's time. Plus, I mean, I work full time, so it's not like I have unlimited time to do coloring and journaling and whatnot. But this is Mythographic Odyssey. Actually, just recently set up 2 buddy colors with Poet Spice, or Poet Spice, Bibliosplice. I'm going to have to ask her what her name is, but we're going to be doing 2 buddy colors out of this book, so I'm super excited. These are actually quick colors for me, usually just a few hours, and so I'm really looking forward to them because I love these mythographic books, and I'm really happy that we're doing this buddy color, but this is a April purchase. This I also showed in my April completed pages. I picked this up from Walmart. This is Camilla D'Erico's pop manga. Not gonna lie, I kind of want her mermaids and her cute and creepy, but I will resist. Well, okay, let me put a caveat. I will resist from ordering it online. If I happen to be in a Walmart or a Target or a Sam's Club and they have it, well, I mean, all bets are off then because I don't get into stores much, and having the ability to flip through a coloring book, you've basically just sold me a coloring book. So yeah, I really like this one, and I have completed the 1 page. I will try and get in this in May, but there's some other ones that I'm going to be working on that may take a lot more time. And so if I do or if I don't, I mean, that's neither here nor there, but I did enjoy this a lot more than I thought I would. So pop manga coloring book by Camilla D'Erico. Okay, I did pick up 3 Luly Mayo coloring books, and to be perfectly honest, I picked up these 2 because I could get them drive up from Target, and so it was nearly instant gratification. I am not sure how I like these books. I love the artwork. I am not completely sold on the paper. It's thick, but it's really smooth. So I will need to play around with some of my mediums and see how they work. But I do like the artwork. And then I saw people working in this one, and to be perfectly honest, I think this one is my favorite. And I know, don't come for me in the comments, but I'm not a huge unicorn fan. And I like sloths, but I mean, there's a lot of sloths. So yeah, this one actually I will take back to work because that's where I color on this. These 2 stay home. And if I reach for a Luly Mayo, it's probably going to be this one. I do want to give all of my coloring books a little bit of love as consistently as I can. And so, you know, if I find myself reaching for this one too much, then I might switch out to this one. And then this one is one of the 2 coloring books I plan to have at work. So it should receive more love than actually any of these 2. But these are the Luly Mayo coloring books. I don't know that I'm going to pick up the rest. Again, cute artwork. Not a fan of the paper. I think I actually prefer Amazon paper over this slick stuff, but those were purchased in April. This is one of the ones that, had I not seen it in person, I would have never ordered this online. Now, I did not pick this up because I am a huge fan of the artwork. I picked this up because I could touch it, and some of the pictures are really cute. Now, this is the Chronicles of Narnia, original illustrations by Pauline Baynes. It's a C.S. Lewis novel, and this encompasses all the novels. I'm pretty sure I've read the first book. I know I know I've started watching the movie, and then that goat guy, he is Professor Xavier, the younger one in the X-Men. I forget his name, but he was half goat, half human. So I was watching the movie and it was fine up until then, and then he came on screen and he's super hot as a goat, and I'm like, I can't watch this. This is making me feel weird. So I've never finished that movie because he's super hot and he's also a goat. And I mean, what? So yeah. Now I'm going to tell you right now, I do plan on coloring in this. Maybe I can actually get to a picture here in May, but I am more than likely only going to cover or color these types of pages where it's just one image, because I actually like that it looks like it's from a book. But any of these here, yeah, no thank you. We're just going to appreciate the illustration. I might actually color a little bit just to add a little bit of color to the page, but otherwise they are more than likely not to get colored. Like even this, I might just test to see if my Tombos work. Just do the lettering just so that I could read exactly what this says, because I'm not exactly sure what it says. But then all the birds and things, yeah, no thanks. But like this, see, there's that goat guy. Yeah, it was making me feel weird. So I like having it, and it's definitely one of those purchases that's an impulse plus. There's only one bookstore on island. There's Target and there's Walmart. And so the ability for me to flip through something is severely limited. So when I do, more than likely, I'm actually going to purchase it, even if I may not be 100%. Fortunately, I don't go into a lot of stores, so that's not going to mess me up by way of space. But that's the Chronicles of Narnia, the official coloring book. Okay, I did pick up these 3 from Amazon, and unless I specifically mention, more than likely they've been from Amazon. And these 2 here are independent artists, and they have small YouTube channels, and so I really wanted to support them, and so I purchased both of these. This one I have done 1 page in, and this is one of the books that I'd like to actually work in on a monthly basis. The illustrations are centered, they're small, and because I like to use alcohol markers, they go by rather quickly, and so I really enjoy this. I enjoy Heidi's channel. I find her humor quite endearing. She's got a bit of a dark humor like I do, and so I like this, and I'm going to enjoy working in here. And then this is also a small YouTuber that I've seen. She has quite a few books out, and so this is the one I have now. I might actually pick up some of the other ones. I'd like to get through some of the ones I have now before purchasing this, because it's a rather thick book, so you definitely get your money's worth. But this is also one of those ones that, because I like to use alcohol markers, it's a quick color for me, probably no more than a night or 2, and so I really enjoy working in this. This one I purchased because I saw someone do a flip through of it, and I just thought it was too cute. As I mentioned in my completed pages video, I like the art. I don't know that I've been liking the tools that I've used. This is Sharpie. They worked fine. You can see very little streaking, if any, but my color selection, and that's all on me. But I don't know what a deer looks like, but I'm pretty sure it doesn't look like that. And then this is the other one where I don't know if it's because it's just so orange or because those bat squirrels kind of freak me out. I don't know what it is, but I don't like this page. And so I'll definitely need to test alcohol markers markers in here, but the images are just so super cute that it's a quick color. It's just, I haven't liked what I've done so far. But these three have been from Amazon. I will link both the books as well as their channels below. I highly recommend that you check them out. Saska, I think that's what her name is. Yeah, Saska Cook is the artist of this. Again, she has quite a few books out. I've got them in my Amazon cart. Whether I get them this month, next month, or whatever, I'm not sure. I did choose to purchase this one instead of the Jade Summer, like similar style, just because I wanted to support a small artist and a small YouTuber. So those are from Amazon. And now I'm going to show you the very last coloring book that I picked up. And to be perfectly honest, it is the most intimidating in the arsenal. And you'll laugh when I show you why. The last one that I picked up is Spectacular Spring Scenes, Color by Number by George Tufexis. Now, I did not have this when I did the This or That tag by Michaela Renee. And it is nothing against the artwork. It is nothing against Creative Haven, and it's nothing against George Tufexis. I had seen someone flip through this and I thought, ooh, that's the kind of color by number I can get next to, because I saw her completed page and it was absolutely gorgeous. I mean, look at that. Those are such pretty pictures. And then I got it. Okay, some of those elements are really small. Now, if I have to bend down over my desk and get close to it, I will do that. But, I mean, I have Opal and Erie, Joanna Basford, the Mythic Graphics. None of those from the onset intimidated me. This intimidates me like you would not believe. I don't know when I'm going to be able to get in here because... yeah. And it's single-sided, so I could use alcohol markers. I think the intent of the artist is to use pencils, and that might be another thing because I don't usually burnish things in or give a lot of deep pigment, and I think he recommends that because then you can sort of blend your edges and so it looks more realistic. I don't know, but this is just, it's super intimidating to me. Now it is only a 24 color palette. Well, and then white, or I guess you leave that blank. And so maybe the way to attack this is just to pull the colors, either from my super tips or buy something specifically for this so that I'm always using the same colors and I'm not searching for colors. Or maybe I just attack this like a coloring book and I just do my own colors. I don't know, but I flip through this every once and again since I've purchased it. And I'm like, I really want to start one, but I really don't know where to start, which is silly. There's literally numbers on here of where to start. But yeah, it's intimidating to me. I don't know why. You would think this would be one of the easier ones in my arsenal, but it really isn't. But it makes me laugh too, because it just, I mean, of all the ones I have, this is the one that's going to stump me. I don't know. Anyway, that is my completed purchases for April. Again, if I can link anything down in the description box below, I absolutely will. I'd like to show this for two reasons. One, because these are some of my favorite videos in the color tube and journaling world, but also it gives me a kind of a gauge of where I am with my stuff. I think maybe in June, which will be 6 months into coming back to coloring, I'll do actually a collection video of the coloring books that I have. I currently have 32 coloring books in my arsenal. I know that there are some coming in. I did an order with Susie. She's out of UK. She was doing some destashing. I'll link her channel below as well as her Facebook group. And because it's coming from the UK, it's taking forever. I do have the Coloring Heaven subscription. I didn't get the steampunk one yet, and the next one is probably rolling out very soon, so I'm waiting on those. I did order the new Hannah Carlson, the Forest one, from the Book Depository, as well as the Beckett Griffith lady. I forget her name, but I ordered one of hers from the Book Depository. So that's on its way. And because that's all coming from the UK, it'll get here when it'll get here. And then I do have the 2 mythographics that are coming in from Amazon. It didn't make it in the month of April. So 32 now as of May 2nd. Sometime next month in June, I'll do just a coloring book just so you guys can see. And then it also helps me keep track of what it is that I had and when. I love the collection that I have. I watch haul videos all the time and I'm like, oh, I want that. Oh, I want that. And some of the ones I want are either out of print here in the US, or they're really expensive for shipping coming out of Amazon Japan. To be honest, if I do another Amazon Japan order, it's going to be because of those Eerie books. And I might add 1 or 2 books that are on my radar, because the Eerie books themselves were like $14, but with shipping, they came out to about $22 a piece, because for the 3 books from Amazon, it was about $65. And so my Opal books run about $20 Amazon US. The books from the Book Depository ran about $20. So for those types of books, I want to be super intentional about them. But yeah, I literally am sitting right in front of them, because as I was pulling them down, I put them back up and I pull the next one. And I love seeing them, because to me, they're just opportunity. But I don't want to get into a situation where I can't see them, because when they were stored originally, they were on the side in a cart, just laying flat, and it was hard for me to remember what I had. And so I really want to grow within the space that I have, but also I want to show them some love, because I see a lot of people who are collectors who also color in their coloring books, and I think that's amazing. But for me, I do want to get into all of them. I think maybe the Tortured Tales and maybe those color by colors, I'll be able to finish this year. I am not in a rush to finish any of my books, but I also, well, okay, maybe with the exception of this one, I also don't want them to be blank, because then maybe I should just consider unloading them. If they're just not bringing me joy, like this is not bringing me joy, but I've yet to find a medium or a style of attacking it that I like. So this may or may not stay in my arsenal, but I'm really trying to think about, if a coloring book is not making me happy, I don't want to waste my time in it just trying to get a page done. Now this, I think it's just finding the medium. This one I think is just getting over myself and getting over the fear. But all of the rest of them, even if the paper is a bit dodgy, I still enjoy the process, and that's just what I need them for, because I color to relax and to relieve anxiety and to de-stress, and I don't need these to add any of stress to my life. I already have enough of that. Anyway, I'd love to know what you think. I am horrible at flip throughs. I'm just going to tell you that right now. But if there's anything that you'd like to see a flip through of, definitely let me know in the comments below, and I certainly can put that on the list. But that's it for me for now. And as always, aloha.